What's up, people? We are back with more of Vault Milestone 2. In the previous video, what exactly happened? I can't remember. Greyus, his last name I forgot already, damn it. We met with Greyus, Selphine slash Raygon, and he basically sort of quote-unquote negotiated with us that on terms of having Retona come accompany us and actually being healthy and then being able to join us again on our journey back to Ruxenheid, Greyus actually wanted to join us as well to come back to Ruxenheid because yeah, I'm not actually sure because there's still a lot of mystery around him, for me personally at least, as to he said that he left Ruxenheid, but in Ruxenheid himself, there was at least it was a rumor that he was exiled. So you know, when you sort of have conflicting opinions about things, or when people tell different stories about how things unfolded, then there's generally a sense that there was some sort of problems there. So not entirely sure what is the truth, but yeah, he basically just sort of, he made it look like it was a negotiation, but he's actually just basically forcing our hand by saying, I'm the only one who can keep Retona healthy and I have Retona, so if you actually want her, you have to do exactly what I say. So we had to comply. But one thing that he did teach us in the 4 days while we have to wait for Retona to be healthy, hopefully, is that the particular ingredient that we needed to create the medicine, and that's what we were growing as well in the soil that we managed to grab a couple of videos ago. Both the Rune and Soul went to get it, you know, at the where they were sold a bunch of soil for a high price to get the day pass for Soul into Neo Sasori, blah blah blah. Everybody should remember that, right? So yeah, let's continue. But this is I think this is basically just creating medicine, so that will hopefully make Mill better again. I think that's the main goal of why we want to both create be able to create the medicine, and it's also partially for Retona, probably because Greyus said that she did need it, but who knows, he could be lying about that. Nevertheless, let's continue. Was I napping? I can hear people talking within the darkness, a conversation I've never heard, etched deep into my memories. So, oh, it's an L. I thought it was an I. Soul, get up. Miss? Get up. We're digging again. Right now? It's still dark outside. The sun's about to come up. We need to finish changing the soil by morning. Otherwise, we won't have the time to learn all the agicraft or agricraft you need. We will have some Sagiola buds sprouting before Rune and I leave this place. Huh? But... Enough. Just get to work. I'm assuming that they're whispering, considering the other people are probably sleeping. Who do you think we're doing this for? Yeah. That's another interesting thing that apparently Raygon has seen as to why Chapter 4, Flies on the Wall, but as to why Soul is acting so strangely and sort of emotionless. And it definitely has to do something with the experiments as to the program that he was part of, the P2P program, but I'm interested to see what Raygon is actually thinking about how to, because I think she had this sort of a solution for it as well, which is basically just making Soul work really, really hard. So we'll see how that works out. As I wake up, I notice that Soul and Raygon are no longer in the room. Huh? What the heck is that sound? Mill isn't here either. Could they be... good morning, Rune. You've already started? Have a look, Sevitz. Soul's rather impressive. I fully expected this to go well past noon, but at this rate, we should be finished by mid-morning. You should have woken me up. Moving earth like this takes a lot of stamina, doesn't it? I told you, didn't I? we're going to work him to the bone. That aside, Zevitz, go and fetch some water for the river, or from the river. Sol has some buckets over there. Huh? Ah, okay. You can definitely tell that Raygun is comfortable being in a leadership position, and that she's sort of like a natural born leader, I guess. Just look at her stance, like arms crossed and like, you do this, you do that, work hard. Well, she sort of just stands there, you know? That's what leaders do. They command other people to do stuff while they just watch. If you go straight down that path, you'll end up at a river. Good luck. Got it. Mill, you sure get up pretty early. I just couldn't sleep last night. It's been quite a while since I've gotten up this early. See, she's excited about medicine. Are you okay? Shouldn't you rest a little more? Haha, I'm fine. Sol's working so hard over there. I ought to at least give him some moral support. Is that so? By the way, have you eaten breakfast yet? None of us have. Huh? I see. What? Don't tell me you're hungry. I sure am. I worked my butt off yesterday, so I'm absolutely starving. What a slovenly expression. Very well. Let's have breakfast once you come back. Phew. So, we're having some breakfast when you finish. Just one last push. You'd better hurry up and get this over with. So, you can do it. Let's all have breakfast together. This is what they call the stick and carrot approach, Raygun. Oh, no need to exaggerate. People simply don't act unless they are made to. I would have liked for his own self-motivation to serve as an impetus, but we're pressed for time. If we're pressed for time, then why didn't you just ask me to help out? And what is with that smirk on your face? You sure are nice, aren't you, Raygun? If you find enjoyment in teasing me, then go right ahead. But I will remember this. Oh, look at that scary look. Now, don't get too mad. Go and fetch some water already, why don't you? You're wasting our time here. Aye, aye. Is it alright for you to be treating Rune like that? Like an errand girl? I'm asking her to do us a little favor. Where's the problem in that? You sure are pretty charismatic, aren't you? And what makes you say that? If you weren't, then I couldn't imagine Rune just letting you boss her around like that. Being charismatic isn't just something you can tack onto yourself. All I've done is furnished myself with the skills to survive. That's all. You just can't take a compliment, can you? Don't tell me. You're embarrassed? I simply didn't expect to be showered with praise from a snotty little brat like you. There you go again. You're trying to dodge the issue. More importantly, you're the one preparing breakfast, Mill. You'll have to get the food ready for all four of us. Do you have experience with cooking? Of course I can. I simply choose not to. You ought to be thankful I'm taking the time and effort to supervise all of you here. If you say so. Yeah, 'cause supervising takes a lot of effort. Oh, Jellyfish hasn't posted anything today. Is that the name of or the book name of page? I wonder if something happened. Jellyfish? You know, that girl imprisoned in Neo Sassery I was talking about yesterday. There are no jellyfish in the rivers around this area, you know. I think you can just let that bit slide. It's certainly a strange name. Her updates have been getting pretty infrequent nowadays. Maybe something's up. Maybe she's run out of ideas. It's rare for writers to be able to produce a consistent amount of output each and every day. Is that so? but she's always been able to write before this, so I'm pretty concerned. Can't you get in touch with her yourself? Just go and say hello to her, why don't you? That is true. Judging by your reaction, it looks like there's a reason for you to hesitate. I'm only an observer. I don't really want to get involved with her world. It's like, I'm going to get sucked into it. So it's fine. I'll just remain on the sidelines. Well... What? Who's this? He has a knife as well? Who are you? You! That's right! You! We made eye contact, yes? Don't say you didn't hear me. Answer me! Who are you? What is this? Just, what are you trying to do here? And why should we have to explain anything to the likes of you? How about you tell us who you are? I'm from the Pharma Guild. The guild? I don't care. Get lost. You're in the way of our work. You can't just not care. What are you trying to cultivate here? It's none of your business. I'll say it again. Be gone. You know that's not gonna work. You need specific agricultural licenses for what you're cultivating. Do you have the proper licenses for all this? These plants aren't for commercial use. It will be for personal consumption, as medicine. Don't tell me you're still planning to stick your nose into this. That doesn't matter. Rules are rules. And those who don't follow the rules will be dealt with accordingly. No buts. He's lying. That's just stuff people from the guild say. They have no real authority with things like this. Whatever he says is nothing but lies. I know that. What? I'll ask again. What are you trying to plant here? And likewise, I say again, get out, you scumbag. Phew! It's so cool and refreshing. So, there was a river here, huh? There's a river just a ways away from Sol and Mill's house. The water's so clear, it's as if I could drink right out of it. I thought this place was pretty out in the sticks, but there's a certain serenity to it all, too. Oh? Wait, that's the same guy. Who is that? I wonder. He looked incredibly terrified running away, though. Oh, wait! The direction he came from! Sol and the others! Don't tell me! Nah, Raygon took care of it. Raygon! Mill! Are you alright? Rune! Sevitz! You ran into that man as well? No, he just passed me by on the way back. It seemed like he didn't even notice me. Did something happen? Wait! Guild? The Pharma Guild, short for the Visconta Pharmacists Guild. It's a group that all the pharmacists in Visconta are members of. So it's not a government agency? Not at all. It's a private organization. The guild creates rules on their own and manipulates the flow of medicine within the country. And if you don't do as they say, then they won't sell you anymore. I've heard stories about pharmacists who've been kicked out of the country because they refused to join the guild too. Well, there's really no end to the string of bad rumors I've heard about them. That's practically a syndicate, isn't it? Just what is this country's government even doing? Guild probably has so much influence that the government is powerless to do anything. How did they find out about us though? Maybe it was when we were moving the soil. Might have triggered some kind of alarm on their surveillance. What do we do now? What about planting the Saxiola? Huh? I mean, it's gonna be pretty dangerous for us to push through with planting, right? What now? Let's just stop. With all that's happened, there's nothing we can do now. Is there really nothing we can do? If we go against the Pharma Guild, we'll be the ones on the losing end. Mill, I'm sure you understand, right? It's like Sol doesn't even want Mill to get better. What? But this is unfair, Sol. Ha, that's pretty unlike you, Mill. Everything's been unfair for us, ever since we were born. Why bother only pointing it out now? Well, that's true. What gain is there in going up against someone you can't even hope to beat? This was all but nothing but a pipe dream. Don't worry. I'll just need to make even more money. Even though this whole Sahyola thing didn't work out, I can just sell all this soil. That'll last us a while. No way. But... What kind of nonsense are you spouting off now? We're planting these damn things. What? This entire situation is preposterous. You have no need to give in to his demands. But Raygon, what if people from the guild come back here in full force? It's not like we can stay here with them the entire time, you know. I have a plan. Mill, those bibliotransmissions of yours allow you to communicate with a large number of people, yes? Yes. Well, there are pages that have a lot of people who visit. From today onwards, start writing in that page, using your real name. Write down every single detail of your situation, truthfully. Huh? Yeah, that's it. Create awareness. What? But what good is that going to do? That's up to the people of this country. Exactly. Like, they shouldn't take this shit anymore, okay? It's enough. Enough is enough. As long as the people of this country actually take notice, then it ought to spread by itself. And what good would that do? We give them our side of the story. That you're all through with living under their damned rules. With how vigilant the Pharma Guild has been acting, there must be a good deal of people who are more than fed up with that bunch. Wait. Just wait a minute here. What good is that going to do? That's just going to add even more unnecessary friction between the two sides. You know that, right? Unnecessary? We're telling those bullies to stop taking advantage of these people. What's wrong with that? Getting cold feet, civets? Even a child knows that if you leave them be, they'll only exploit the people even more. The things that can be accomplished by a mere one or two, or are few. This is why we begin with assembling as many allies as we can. Mill, this is why you need to write this all down. Be precise, but also keep in mind you're trying to stir something up. Pour your soul into it. Yeah, some emotion. Make the people feel what you write down when they read it. But that's practically just going, "Hey guys, we're here," to everyone in the syndicate. And not just that. If Mill and Sol actually do end up getting famous, some really weird folk might start showing up here, you know? That's why I said we didn't have to do all this. All I have to do is just work every day. I just need to make money. That's all. But they've been hiking the prices up, haven't they? This is just too much for me to watch, Sol. If only there were even riskier jobs. Way better than trying to pick a fight with the guild, at least. Come on, Sol. Please, don't. You always end up sacrificing yourself. Mill, put yourself in my shoes for once. Have you ever considered what it's like, having to depend on your older brother for everything? Completely powerless? We can't help that, Mill. There isn't a single thing we can do, given the situation. It'll be fine. We've been able to keep going till now. I'm sure things will work themselves out. No! Please, Sol! Think! There has to be something else we can do, right? There isn't, Mill. If there was, I would have thought of it ages ago and already done something about it. Why? Why are you always like this, Soul? Doesn't it frustrate you? Our lives, our very existences are on the line here. I just have to make more money for you, Mill. Soul. Mill, dang, Mill looks so angry. Why all this bewilderment, you two? It seems like you both are making a huge misunderstanding here. Misunderstanding? There was never an option for you to just suffer under this injustice. Give up on giving up. It'll be easier that way. If you're suffering, then fight. If it's frustrating, then retaliate. That's all there is to it. Listen, and listen well. The way things are going, the two of you have no future. With no one who cares about you, the best that could happen is that you either get exiled from Visconta, or you die all sprawled out on a field somewhere. This kind of injustice must not be overlooked. Do you understand? Alone, you're but a mere speck. Just like the mana that covers this entire planet. You couldn't even hope to accomplish anything with a tiny fragment of it. But it can serve as a spark that can let you bless a much larger craft. Just like people, there is synergy in linking up with others. So fight, struggle, show everyone in this country how pathetic you are. Fan their flames of anger, gain their pity, their sympathy, and become one with them. From the beginning of time, this is how humanity has been able to make the impossible possible. Such injustice has only been overcome through the joining of a great many. This is simply our nature. So, let's do it. Huh? But it's just as Raygon said. Mill, do you think that the Pharma Guild is just going to take this sitting down? They might not just stop at getting rid of the field. They might even go straight for us. Then what are we supposed to do? Soul, you do nothing but work every day, like a zombie. I just can't stand to see it anymore. I can't stand to see you struggling so desperately, all because of me. But tell me, why? Why am I even still alive? Think about how I feel, Soul. If I can't even do anything to help you, then I have no right to refuse everything that you do for me. I'm just utterly, completely, absolutely worthless. I'm always just taking and taking because I can't step in. No, because I didn't step in. Because I didn't have enough courage to. Mill. But we're helpless. With just us two, there's nothing we can do. We have limits. That's exactly why. If we can't do anything on our own, then we just ask for their help. But Raygon, please. This is so pathetic of me, but please. Please guide us. Guide us all the way to the end. Tell us what we need to do. Just give us the word and we'll do anything we can. So please. Mill. Just how many times do I have to say this? What? Like I've said, you have no choice in the matter. Even if you didn't grovel before me, I would have done so anyway. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's not right. There is a choice. They can give up on the field and live as they always have. No matter how difficult their lives will be, logically, it isn't the wrong choice. I understand what Rue mean. Like, it isn't a wrong choice, but then you're just basically living just to get by, which is you're not progressing in your life whatsoever, and the poor people in general as well, because I'm pretty sure that Seoul is probably not the only one in a similar situation like this, where they're just where they basically have no future just because they are poor. And that is something that just should not. I feel like everyone, regardless of whether you're poor or rich, you should have at least chances to be able to progress, you know, in life. And for that chance, for those opportunities to be completely taken away from the poor, that's completely unfair. So I understand that Rune, and it is true that they just can't continue to do what they're doing and just try and get by, but it's not going to change anything for their lives, and it's not going to change anything for the lives of the other poor people in Visconta. So at a certain point, you just have to, you feel like you get sick of it, right? Even though probably all those people that feel sick of it feel like they can't do anything because, oh, we're just two people. But if all those people actually step up and try and do something about it, like one person just has to be sort of the catalyst to spark all of this rebellion or whatever you want to call it, and other people will follow. Other people will feel the same like you do, and they do feel the same like you do, but they just don't speak up because they feel the same way like you do. Like, I'm scared, I don't want to speak up, or if I speak up, I'm gonna get punished. But you know what? If everyone speaks up, they can't punish everyone, and even if they do punish a few people, like, it's gonna get noticed by even other people from the outside influence or something. Like, for example, if the Pharma Guild, this is probably an extreme example, but would kill all the people that try to rebel against them, then obviously a greater power from the outside would see that and perhaps even intervene or do something, or, you know. So just a tiny action like that can just spark an entire chain of events that will eventually lead to progress of future generations. But the power to best that kind of logic. Well, Soul, what you say? Or what say you? That's Queen Raygon's. I'll get back to work in the field. Charisma. Yeah, that's her charisma. Alright, well, this is a good place to end this video. I was sort of thinking that, you know, because it feels like this is Fault Milestone 2, right? And I'm trying to look like really far ahead in the game, but I think it was in a previous video where it was mentioned that Grace actually said that to travel on foot from where they are now to Ruxenheid is about 2 years on foot, considering that all the events that have taken place both in Milestone 1, which I think is about a week or so, and Milestone 2, which is longer, but it spans over a longer amount of time, like perhaps I think so far a week as well. But it just feels funny, like every single city we've been to, we have such a huge influence it just because we see one tiny problem, we try to fix that tiny problem, and when we try to understand what that tiny problem exactly is, we see this whole big problem that's behind it, and we try to solve or change that as well. And it feels like we're trying to do that here again, and I mean, I can't blame them for trying to do that, especially if you're from a country like Ruxenheid, where you feel like you have the influence to change things, especially because, you know, Selphine, Raygon, Rotona, maybe Rue not so much, although her family is sort of in a power position in Acadia, but especially because the others are royalty, they feel like they can influence a lot of stuff, even if they this isn't their hometown. They just can't stand to see the injustice, and they feel like they have to do something about it. But this just makes me think, like, when are they finally going to reach Ruxenheid, you know? And are they ever going to? Because I'm not sure how far along we in Milestone 2 are at the moment. I think it was Chapter 4. I guess it's safe to say that we're near the half, around half. I'm not entirely sure, but nevertheless, it just feels like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, everything is obviously very interesting, but if I just look at the bigger picture and the end objective, it's like, when are we ever going to reach Ruxenheid? Fault Milestone 21 or something, but I wouldn't mind there being 21 games of this, but you know what I mean, right? But yeah, let's end the video here. I need to drink more water. My throat is really dry. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video of Fault Milestone 2. Peace!